hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today. Previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday, and interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube at Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, that guy, James J., alongside the leader of SWAT Squad, Kaliko Yards.
Back in the place to face. Back in the place to be. Let's get to work.
And the American Scooter Dust, who is not here tonight. But it is still a great week for Wrestling With, as we interviewed Briar Hale, one half of the Hale twins. Finally got both twins on for the first time. So that's great, and it was an excellent interview with Briar. You definitely want to go check out that interview. And then on Wednesday, we interviewed Yao Yan, our first ever interview from China. Incredible individual. Great insight on Chinese pro wrestling. So I can't recommend that one enough as well. This upcoming Tuesday, we have Alan Compass. He's an Australian from America. And we talk about being his time at Paradise Alley Wrestling, really connecting with the fans on a higher level than a lot of people have. Being in a band, the red flags of buying an RV for $1,000. And a lot more. You definitely want to listen to that interview. And then on Wednesday we have Nicole Matala, around the same area. She recently competed in Puerto Rico. We talk about that. We talk about her first gimmick. We talk about a lot of the girls cheating to beat her, and nachos. If surprisingly enough, we talk about nachos. But don't take my word for it. Here are some clips of those interviews now.
There were plenty of red flags. Hey, you want to buy this 30-foot drive RV for only $1,000? Sure. That's a steal.
Oh my god.
We get in it. I don't know how something with so much water damage could catch on fire so easy. It would blow your mind. We're driving and we just hear like, and I'm like, what is that noise? Well, that noise was the exhaust shooting fireballs into the gas tank, and then it blew up. And we were on a bridge. Someone's like, "You're on fire!" And then we got out of the thing. We got some of our stuff out. We bought all new. Luckily, we got the cash bin, and we were able to buy all new equipment. So we only missed one date on the whole tour, so it's okay.
The distinct honor of sharing the ring with John Cena Sr.
Oh, I love John Cena Sr. Yes, I've been in the ring plenty of times with John Cena Sr. One time he actually ended up being my manager for Bell Time in I think it was Boston, Massachusetts. But yeah, no, I've seen him around quite a bit on a few shows. Sometimes in Maine. We had a benefit show for Wishes on Wheels, and he was there as well. And it's always amazing to talk to him and talk about our journeys and catch up and everything. And he's a hoot, that one. He's hilarious. He's very, very fun to be around. He pranked me while we were at Fenway Park, because I wrestled for Bell Time at Fenway Park a few times, and he pulled a prank on me, and he got me so good. He's like, oh yeah, that loaf of bread right there, yeah, you can have it, it's for free. And I'm like, oh, okay, because I guess one of the wrestlers had his own bakery, samples of his bakery, loaves of bread, cupcakes, all that kind of stuff, out on the table. And I was like, is this for us, or do we have to pay for it? Like, what is it? He said, no, you're good, just take it. So I went to go take it, and he goes, "Ooh, she's stealing," and I was like, "Oh!" I was like, "No, no, 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 no."
Alright, and then on the 14th we have Jay Brooks, and on the 15th we have Sean Mortons. But before we get to Alan Compass, before we get to Nicole Matala, we have a Ray special event on the Monday prior, on the 6th. And that is the first ever Kaliko's Chronicles. No, Kaliko?
Yeah, it was actually pretty fun, I will say. And then if they actually put the match, there's a guy who got dumped on his head, and he finished the match. I highly recommend that match. And it was Rilla Wolf versus Tim. I'm telling you, that match was crazy. Probably the best match. And of course, Paul London there with his Wayne Newton gimmick. It was actually a pretty fun show. All in a church parking lot while drinking beer and people smoking weed around me. So yeah, it was kind of like a whole oxymoronic feel.
Of course, this was at Compton Mania 4-year anniversary event. And how was it? Was Compton Mania beer, correct? There was their own brewed beer, no?
Well, initially they were supposed to do it. Long story short, they were supposed to do it in at a brewery, but for some odd reason they couldn't get a permit to get the cage built in the brewery, so they ended up having to go to the church parking lot. So
Their
they
cage
had a
match.
right. So uh, the brewery gave them complimentary beer and cider. Didn't get the cider, but the beer was pretty good. Even though it said lager, it tasted like an IPA, but that's a whole different story.
Alright. And you could check out a little snippet. You could check out Kaliko's Chronicles on this upcoming Monday before Alan Compass, before Nicole Matala. So yeah, join us Monday. All right. Um, I believe we're done putting ourselves over. So it was a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the news and TNA Impact, Impact TNA, whatever you want to call them. Scott Moore did an interview and said that TNA plans to disrupt and change the wrestling scene. I Okay, so you're changing your name back to TNA. Great. It works. People know what TNA is for one reason or another. Um, but I kind of feel like you had your chance to change the scene. Stay in your lane. Stay the little buddy promotion and make your money. Um, that's kind of how I feel about it. But how do you feel about it, Kalika?
I mean, eventually they got to grow the scale, right? It's kind of hard to say stay in your lane when you're sitting there watching everyone else get TV shows. I mean, NWA got a channel for crying out loud. They got to try something, right?
I mean, they're on TV. They're on Access Channel.
Bro, access don't count.
It's on TV.
Just because it's on TV don't mean it count.
I mean, I don't feel like it's unfair to say stay in your lane when and not try and grow because I mean Ring of Honor before they got bought by AEW they were they were in their own lane. They didn't nobody expected them to do anything significant. Honestly, they were the B, not even they were the C wrestling company. Honestly, and I think they were content with that as long as they were making, their money.
I mean, yeah, but considering that they had a bigger network like Spike TV, I mean, why not try to make more money?
I mean, yeah, but do you really expect TNA to get back on Paramount?
I mean, better than nothing, right?
I mean, can they get there again? I don't think that they want them back.
I mean, worth a shot, right? Gotta crawl back. Gotta start somewhere. Baby, come back. Baby, come back to me.
Well, let's go on the opposite end of that spectrum. If they do get back on Paramount, do you see TNA on the Paramount Plus? Because that could be really beneficial for them and their company if they're on, an app rather than, you know, cable TV.
Right. I mean, at this point, they're all doing streaming, so it's just a matter of, it's just a matter of getting in where they can fit in.
I mean, AEW doesn't have streaming.
I thought they were trying to get the HBO Max.
From what I've gathered, from what I've heard, they HBO wants to do a trial run with them, and they feel that they're worth more than a trial run. Which, I mean, their
Mm,
numbers are not evident of that.
well, got to figure something out, man. And I get it, because that's like, in essence, I think the companies are jaded with return on investment. So, because eventually, that's why I don't get when people like, oh, they're on TV, and I'm like, well, they gotta actually produce something. They just can't like half-ass it, right?
I
They actually
mean,
gotta make the company money.
well, I think that's what Warner Brothers is trying to get out of them because they want to do monthly paid previews with AEW, and it does seem like we're leading that way, but it also doesn't seem like those monthly paid previews are featured on Warner Brother television or media, which honestly doesn't make sense.
I mean, yeah, it don't make sense, but I mean, they gotta try somewhere, right?
I mean, I guess, but who's paying $50 a month to see essentially a card you could see any Wednesday? It seems counterproductive, and it seems like only a certain amount of people are going to actually do that, and not, the minority, not the majority. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but I mean, people gotta. I mean, the company's just trying to grasp at straws and see what sticks at this point. And I mean, you're just sitting there. I mean, they sitting there watching everybody else pass them by, so you gotta start somewhere, right?
Well, I think that takes us into a little bit a next part of our piece of news. Tickets for All In go on sale December 1st. A show that has a date of September August. Tickets are going on sale for that show in Wembley Stadium, December 1st. Yeah, it seems like that's maybe not the wisest thing to do.
I mean, they're trying to get the interest. Why wouldn't? I mean, kind of like how WrestleMania tickets are on sale in August, which is hella early.
Did they
And you,
did the tickets for WrestleMania go until in August this year?
yeah, they were on sale hella early.
Hmm.
Hella early.
But I mean, with that, it's WrestleMania. That's like you're going to be at the biggest show in the world of pro wrestling. If they sell themselves, there is a 50-50 chance that All In is not going to have the quality of card that they had last year, or this year, I should say. Do you, what would your guesstimation be of how many tickets they sell on December 1st?
I mean, they're gonna sell a good amount. I don't think they're gonna sell it out, but a good amount. It's just trying to. It's basically like how Mania sells itself, and they're hoping that All In is kind of in the same realm, especially in London, because they did kind of spring it on everybody super last minute. Like, hey, we're going to London, come join us.
Right.
So now you got people who might actually plan for it.
Do you think that All In this event is going to be considered a WrestleMania quality or WrestleMania esque like event?
Honestly, I don't know what is AEW's WrestleMania.
Well, usually it's all out.
Well, it damn sure has to be All In now, right? They're going overseas.
I mean, how many years did it take WrestleMania to cross the border into Canada? 8.
Mm, eight? Yeah, eight.
No, 6. 6 years.
It took six. Oh yeah, that's right. Warrior Hogan,
Yeah.
Ultimate Showdown.
And then it took another 8 years before they returned. And they've never been back.
hmm I mean, we'll see how it goes for the next. I mean, this is something new. This is what year three. I want to say year three or four of AEW. So, I mean, to be overseas is pretty impressive. But they're just trying to give people that heads up. Mainly, they're dedicated, loyal people
Right.
who may not be as fortunate as like a WWE. Because that's kind of like what WWE does. Remember, they're selling like I remember they sold SummerSlam tickets in like February. Like they literally try to make it where you like plan like the big fours. They try to make it like you planning that bitch in advance.
Right.
So it's kind of like the same formula. Get that deposit for people who want to go, and that way they already committed.
But I feel like WWE can do that. They're allowed to do that because you kind of know who your players are going to be. You know you're going to see Roman. You know you're going to see Cody. You know you're going to see uh Jay. With AEW, it's and all of those matches are going to be high profile matches. With AEW, it feels like it's a Russian roulette of what you what they give you and what you get, and you have to be happy about it
Hmm.
because Tony thinks it's the greatest thing ever.
But it's just more like, but the card is what sells. I mean, the event is what sells itself, right? Like that's the point. And AEW is trying to build that because they built it with All Out and they built it with certain events, right?
Yeah.
And they're trying to go with that. Hey, can we can we do it, right? So I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. I give them the effort, right?
Well, we shall see December 1st. Um,
We will see.
do you feel like it's worth anything that for the advertisement for that show, whenever in September it is, MJF, their current champion, was nowhere on the promotional walk.
Hmm. I mean, it depends if he signs, right?
Right. The Great
You have to
Billion
make.
War of 2024, as he calls it.
Yes, 2024 is going to be a big old year for them. So,
Does
so we'll see. We'll see if they can.
does that kind
We'll
of make
see if they can keep their people, and therefore they can add it. But I don't think. Here's the question: will MJF be as popular? You see what I'm saying?
right?
Will he? Will the buzz still stay? And one, will he still be champion? Will two? Will the buzz still stay? There's a lot of things with it, right?
Right. And I mean, does that? But does it kind of make you feel like even though he is their champion and he's not on the promotion, no pages for the event, that it kind of makes AEW think that he maybe not be sticking around?
I think he's going to stick around. It's just a matter of how much they're going to pay him,
Do you think MJF
right?
would stick around if the money was better at AEW? Because I mean, WWE could outbid them. Just to say no, 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 no.
I mean, didn't they try that the first time?
What do you mean?
I thought they tried to get MJF the first time, and MJF was like, "Nah."
Mm, no, he wanted more money. Uh, because of he felt he was a bigger star when he had the CM Punk rivalry.
Yeah, funny how that works.
Yeah.
That didn't work. But I mean,
Oh,
you gotta get yeah. CM Punk and that didn't last long, but
some people that they would hope is going to be at that event. Sammy Guevara, Brian Danielson, John Moxley and Adam Cole. Um, all injured with no real time frames of when they're coming back. Um, Obviously, yeah, it plays a major factor in their storylines and a lot of things getting changed and switched around. and having to make chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Hmm.
But I'm always going to go with a lot of these things could be avoided if they had safer matches. Um, with the exception of Cole, because he jumped and he exploded his ankle for no reason.
Yeah, that would suck. I mean, it's just Wild Wild West though. They don't really allow. I just think they don't let people. They don't really. What's the word I'm looking for here? Advise their people. But then again, even if they advise them, would they actually even take the advice? And that's the thing. Most people don't.
But
They're just kind of like, whatever. I'm gonna do my thing.
and I mean,
Do my thing because I care about getting myself over.
I mean, Brian and Max are already over. It's just they, for whatever reason, they feel like this style of wrestling is something they want to do. And I mean, it hasn't proven right for Brian because he gets injured maybe every 3 to 4 months.
I think it's just that's a body wear down, and the
Right.
more and more the more and more he gets hurt, the more and more WWE looks right.
Which is
And
pretty evident right now.
because remember, everybody was like, "Oh, well, they can't," uh, they gotta let him fight and da 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 da, and then all of a sudden, now you see him breaking down, and everybody's looking like, "Well, oh shit, I guess, I guess they were right." On some things because sometimes you gotta save people from themselves.
Right.
And plus there's stockholders. They ain't trying to put that. They are not trying to be the company to be like, you know what? I am not about that life. We are not trying to because that makes them look bad on their bottom line,
Right.
right?
And I mean, I'm I'm hoping when Marks comes back that maybe the concussion helped his his mentality towards pro wrestling, and that maybe he won't bleed buckets of blood every single time he has a match, and maybe give his own self some time to heal and reflect rather than having death matches every single day.
Right. I mean, but it's just that they gotta kind of be a little bit safer and less risk averting and more storytelling. And I put this with the Miz because I always everybody's like, oh, the Miz wrestles safe, but that motherfucker ain't never really hurt.
Right. I think one injury in what the 10 years, 15
20,
years.
damn near 15, 16. No, it's almost 20 years.
Yeah, you're right about that. Almost 20 years. 2005, right?
Yeah, he's like 2 years out. Well, 1 year out at the end of this year, might as well.
At least. I mean, that's fucking impressive. 20 years and only one injury the whole time.
And people get on him because he doesn't wrestle like an indie dude.
Right.
Meanwhile, he like, bitch, I'm. But the thing is, the best ability is availability.
100%.
Say what you want, that motherfucker is available.
I will say I do feel bad for Sammy Guevara because he is young in his career, and a concussion is not exactly um you know matter to be taken lightly. But
True, and it's just more like how one the severity, two could it happen again, and could it be worse?
Right.
And those are the things that you kind of got to look for when it comes to concussions, because it can it's one of those things where it can just boom and you're done. You
Well,
know, so you gotta protect that.
I would hope that they learn from these injuries and maybe play it a little safer when they come back.
Darby Allen, as Darby Allen, the dealer.
Yeah, no, Darby is not has got nothing.
I'm just saying.
Darby has
Just
got
saying.
nothing.
So
Um,
I'm that, and that's my point. Like it's hard to tell people, oh yeah, learn from this, and you're like, nah. They like hell no.
well, all of these people are injured. You know, not a lot of people are moving tickets for AEW. So they have to bring in our Lord and Savior, Ric Flair. He has signed a multiple year deal with AEW. He's here to
Your
stay.
fault. Your
And
fault.
yes, unfortunately, my fault.
You
And
called this bullshit. You spoke it into existence, sir, and I
I
don't.
I unfortunately did. Um, he will be on air talent, and the Woo energy drink will be the official energy drink of AEW Wrestling.
I hate you.
Other than
Gonna ha-
hating me,
you gonna have this guy die in the ring because of you.
hey, I didn't tell him to do it. He did it on his own. He did it on his
That
own.
boy. That man is literally trying to die in the ring.
What are your thoughts on the energy drink?
I haven't tried it yet. I don't think it made it to the West Coast. I got to see if it's in the store, or I'll just order it from Amazon, like a normal human being.
Alright, well, we
So,
should.
I mean, he's pretty much in the pantheon with like, well, I don't know if you've heard of these. Have you ever heard of Rap Snacks?
I feel like I have.
Your silence says it all. So Rap Snacks is kind of like this thing where they have like snacks that are named after rappers, like Migos and Master P and da 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 da. But he's in that pantheon now. He's trying to get that bread though before he dies. I give him that.
I
I don't
mean,
know about getting in the ring, but shit, man.
I mean, there's absolutely no slack on him for wanting to sell his energy drink, coming on a TV so to sell that energy drink, but to be involved in the show as a character, I it doesn't it could go to somebody else.
I mean, nah, he could be in the show. He just can't be wrestling in the fucking show. That's the problem. It ain't the problem, ain't him. I can give a damn if he's on TV talking shit for a guy.
So you
I
would
give a
be
shit when he's out here trying to die in the ring.
so you would be interested in seeing a heel Ric Flair have a have a promo battle with a MJF. That's something that interests you.
I mean, at least it's him talking. He can still talk. Talking ain't, you know what I'm saying? Dutch Mantel could still talk. You didn't see him like, oh yeah, let me get in this ring real quick. You
I
know what
mean,
I'm
there's a
saying? That's
difference.
the difference.
No, the difference is, yeah, anybody has the ability to talk, but actually having something to say is a whole different thing.
That is true. Just because you're using your words doesn't mean that you're communicating. So I get your point there. I do get that part.
it, he doesn't need to be. But, and be honest. Would you rather see Ric Flair or Sky Blue at this point?
I think every man wants to see Sky Blue.
Now, let's say Sky Blue just lost the match. She's feeling down. Ric Flair comes up to her and says, "Hey, before your match, try Woo Energy Drink and maybe you'll win." We see her drink the energy drink after the next match. She wins. That would be something I would care about seeing Ric Flair rather than him having a promo battle with their biggest star.
I mean, I can't say nothing because I saw a chicken rustle the colonel. So yeah, come on, man. Like semantics at this point.
I think wasn't the Colonel Shawn Michaels?
The colonel was Dolph Ziggler.
That's right. And the chicken was the Miz.
Availability.
Oh,
See Daniel Bryan trying to be a legend in the ring. Miz trying to be a legend at the bank. Two different things.
who's winning in
Two
life?
different things. Who's winning?
Who's winning in life?
Miz. Miz totally outkicked his coverage.
Talk,
He totally outkicked the coverage.
talking about not MJ, AW must have got a full tank of gas with all of the fossils they dug up this last week.
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
Chris Jericho announced that the fourth man, not Hulk Hogan, but Paul White, the Big Show, will be returning to the ring. The team with Chris,
Knucklehead?
huh? Yeah,
Knucklehead.
yeah. He will be teaming with Chris Jericho, Kota Ibushi, and I believe Kenny Omega as well. If the Big Show returns in the woods, does anybody see it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, no one cares though. I mean, when you think about that, something don't match. Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and the Big Show. Kota Ibushi and the Big Show. Yeah, that makes no sense.
It it seems so random, but if the thing of it is they don't have anybody available because, like I said, there's a lot of people injured right now, then I understand why they called in the favor for Big Show. But
No, they got a gang of motherfuckers they can use.
we'll throw some names.
Where's Miro?
having issues with his sexy, flexible wife.
Miro, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, uh, Mark Henry.
Matt Hardy
Who
was
else?
having a rivalry with what is his name? Jim Cornette.
Juice. Uh, I'm trying to think of who else. Oh, let me go through this roster. Now you about to make me pull up their roster. And sir, I can tell you they got a gang of motherfuckers on this motherfucking roster.
I mean,
Oh my God, hell yeah. Adam Page, Angelo Parker, Alex Reynolds, Anthony Ogo, AR Fox, Ari Davari, Bandito, Big Bill, Bishop Khan, Brandon Cutler, Brian Cage, Brody King, but Cat, well, no, not Cash, Christopher Daniels, Chuck Taylor, Claudio, Colt Cabana, Danhausen, Daniel Garcia, Dante Martin, Jalistico, Dustin Rhodes, hell, Eddie Kingston, Ethan Page, Evil Uno, Hook, Isaiah Cassidy. Remember Private Party, anyone?
nope.
Jay Lethal. They put Jay Lethal with Jeff Jarrett for crying out freaking loud. Jake Hager, Jeff Jarrett, Johnny TV, Josh Woods, Keith Lee, missing in action, Kip Sabian, Commander, Takashita. Remember that guy? He had them fire ass matches, and we just couldn't find his ass from here on out. Lance Archer, Lee Johnson, Lee Mortuary,
Moriarty.
Mark Briscoe for Moriarty. I mean Mortuary, Moriarty, same thing. Matt Hardy, Matt Sydal, Matt David, Mike Bennett, Santana, Miro, Nick Wayne, Ortiz, Pac, Parker Boudreaux, which is, I guess, the Brock Lesnar looking motherfucker,
Yeah.
El Penta, Hobbs, Vance, but QT, hello, QT, Ricky Starks, Ray Phoenix, Roderick Strong, Roosh, Samoa Joe, Scorpio Sky, Serpentico, Sean Dean, Sean Spears, not Stokely Hathaway, but Stu Grayson. Well, Swerve's too hot. He don't even need to be nowhere near that. The Blade, the Butcher, Toa Leona, Tony Nese, anybody? Trent Beretta, Wardlow, or Wheeler Yuta.
Wow.
I basically did what you did, naming all those damn PWI. But God damn it, the point is they had a gang of motherfuckers. Could have made sense. Okay.
So basically, literally anybody but Paul White.
Cause Paul White gonna do that. Cause I'm calling it. He's gonna turn.
Oh my God! Join the Don Callis family. Paul White, really?
When have you ever seen him in a match where he hasn't turned?
I mean, that was WW. That was WWE. So isn't that
All
just
right, sir.
AEW rehashing WWE shit?
It's gonna happen. Cause
Well,
there's no incentive. What is Big Show? What's the point? What is Big Show? You know what I mean?
I know. Well, I mean, they could
There's no
definitely.
incentive. There's no incentive for him to join Jericho.
I mean, there's not really an incentive for him to join Don Callis either.
That's true, but shock value.
I guess so.
Half the people Jericho got either hurt or ain't around. So what's the hell? That dude formed more factions in AEW than goddamn our government agency.
It's every 6 months recycle, recycle, repeat.
Yeah.
I hear really good things about this mortuary guy. Maybe he'll do something.
Maybe he'll be the Black Undertaker.
I think that's the under reefer.
Under Reefer, that would be cool.
No, that's an
Oh,
actual wrestler on the Independents.
oh gosh, does he smoke weed?
What? His name is the under reefer. What the fuck do you think he does?
I mean, I'm just saying, is he like blowing it in front of dead bodies? You know what I'm saying? I'm just asking questions. He wasn't on PWI's 800. Neither was Naito. So
Yeah. The under reefer versus Tetsuya Naito coming soon.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be something.
for, for number 501 on PWI.
Yeah, no, boy, like 501 Naito, 502 the Under Reefer,
There you go.
pretty much. There we go. Battle to make it.
Well, speaking of the under reefer, I'm sure that he was busy, or will be busy, as Matt Riddle's first match out of WWE has been announced. Um, and it could have been against no better opponent. He's wrestling RVD.
You talk about now that match got a chance to get lit, get high, everything you got in this.
I don't see how people would be able to see the match. There's going to be so much smoke in the air.
That is true. However, I it's gonna be like third hand contact around that bitch.
I feel like the match will definitely happen, but we won't ever know what actually happens because nobody will remember it for the obvious reasons.
That is true.
People get to the venue, they'll sit down and, oh, I can't wait to see Matt Riddle versus RVD. Next thing they know, they're already in bed. It's the next day. What the fuck happened?
Well, they're already at Jack in the Box getting their munchies. Fun fact: every video that RVD has in AEW actually lasts 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
No, that's awesome. That's
every video he has on YouTube is literally it like, involves RVD is exactly 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
no, that's creative thinking on their part. It's those little things that actually work.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I've got to give props for that
Yeah,
ingenuity.
you know,
Ingenuity at its finest.
I've said this in the past when it comes to AEW. For every one thing they do right, they do 10 things wrong.
That is true.
And I just said that as a joke, but then continuously watching the show, and I was like, huh, that went wrong, that went wrong, that went wrong. And then I was like, son of a bitch, I'm onto something here. Anyway,
Hey,
somebody that's
anywho,
somebody that's also onto something that AEW wants to take advantage of is Jim Cornette. They was in Louisville, Kentucky, obviously the home of one James E. Cornette. Jeff Jarrett invited him to the show, and I'm going to paraphrase here. I don't have the full tweet in front of me, but Jim Cornette responded on Twitter saying, "Thank you for the invite, Jeff. But unfortunately, I could not find somebody else in the state of Kentucky to share the 2-for-1 ticket price of the event. So
Oh,
you're going to have to find another ratings ploy out of somebody else.
oh, cold. That's cold.
And I mean, it was a good, it was a sick bar to say the least.
I feel like if he goes, him and Matt Hardy are gonna have some furniture movement. So that's why.
But I mean, as the question is, would you pay to see that?
Hell yeah! Two senior citizens getting it on. Like, let's go.
What do you think
Why?
AEW is in this chapter of the company, considering that they're willing to take literally the most boisterous um critic and invite him to the show to come and see for
No, that was Jeff Jarrett doing that because they got history from the back in the USWA days. That had nothing to do. I can tell you right now, AEW is probably like, that's Jeff Jarrett inviting you. That ain't us.
I
Well, I was saying this, it could be AEW, but it damn sure ain't Matt Hardy.
we could both agree it's not my party, but
There you go.
I don't think Jeff would have said what he said if Tony didn't feel like it was a sneaky ploy way to get Jim in the building.
But in case you haven't noticed, there's a lot of shit that they do that people just don't notice.
Like,
So it doesn't shock me one bit.
well, that brings us to Kenny Omega wrestled MJF, I believe, on last Saturday's Collision. Uh, honestly, arguably one of the biggest matches that they could produce at this time was given away on their CISO to only a little over 4,000 viewers, 472,000, um, which is down from last week's 5,018, five, a little over 5,000 viewers. You have such a big match like that, and it draws less than the week before, and I don't even know if it was on that show.
Well, keep in mind, Collision was the CM Punk show.
Right.
He's gone. He's gone. They're like, why? What for? Marina Shafir's with AEW? See, the shit I know. Anyway, but I mean, it's just I. Punk left, and people ain't because that was the Punk crown. That was the line in the sand. Rampage was like the border. Collision was like trying to be WWE without the WWE because
Right.
they try to do like storytelling and stuff like that. And Dynamite's like flippy shit.
Right.
So yeah, of course they're not gonna,
You think that Collision lost its audience?
a different audience exactly. I mean, granted, their base is there because I think they record that on Saturday, right? Or they either
Yeah.
record that Saturday or Friday.
No, they record that on Saturday. It's live, I believe.
Yeah. So I mean, shit, they got to get more people on there, and I'm surprised because that's MJF, the champ. The most popular guy on the bitch, quote unquote. Madison Rain is AEW. Man, they got a decent ass women's roster. Shit, if they use
Yes,
it right,
the women's
Kiara
roster
Hogan.
has decent asses. Um,
Really?
it was a cheap joke, but I took it.
They got Diamante. I mean, Athena got ass. Baker kind of got a Bumblebee's team.
Um,
Keep going.
People kind of said that it was, one of the reasons that they suffered in the ratings was because they had sports competition from other sports. But I feel like if you have a big match and you have pro wrestling that people actually want to see, then people aren't going to watch that whatever sports is on. They're going to watch your product. And I mean, case in point, Roman Reigns' 1,000th day celebration. They were on against basketball. Not only did they keep their um, their audience, when Roman came on the TV, it spiked. When they were up
What?
against other sports, when you have something that the people want to see, you keep them.
But they don't have something that's uber long term.
I
Like, name a story that happened long term other than Hangman Page.
Well, I mean, they announced it on Wednesday for Saturday. So I mean, and there's not.
But
It has MGF and Kenny ever even touched had any interaction before that time, before that match.
I mean, true. But I'm just saying, like, they just have a. They're having. It's almost like they're just having the matches to have them as because they trying to bring the element of sport where it's contention up and down, moving up and down rankings, right?
Well,
But I think they need to do better at selling that importance. Because they just go, well, this match is a title eliminator, and da 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 da,
well,
and it's just, and you're sitting there thinking, well, yeah, Kenny Omega versus MJF would be cool, but what did Kenny do to warrant the title shot? Question mark.
right. Um,
And that's where we get lost.
and you said long term storytelling. They've been in business for 4 years. I mean, it's not like they can't do long term storytelling because they've had 4 years to develop stories. So almost as long as AEW's been a company, Roman Reigns has been champion, and people he became the megastar that they wanted because of the long term storytelling that he's been able to do. While AEW has jumbled and scrambled to tell one, maybe two cohesive, coherent stories in that time frame, not including any of Cody's stories in AEW, because that guy jumped ship too. You know what I mean?
I mean, I know what you mean, but it still doesn't. It still belittles the fact that remember, wins and losses matter.
Has that
Like
gone? It. Has that come into play since they've started the company?
Fuck no. I mean, yes. I mean, in a sense, yes. I'll say yes in the sense of when they have things where people are contenders and they get a title shot. Yes. Random ass shit, no.
Do you think that the ratings went down because Sky Blue was not on the show?
Yeah, Sky Blue was on the show.
Is Sky
Yep,
Blue
that's why.
the
Or Leela
only
Gray. Or Chris
saving,
Statlander. Chris Statlander's cute.
but is Sky Blue the only saving grace for ratings when it comes to AEW at this point?
I mean, her and Tony Storm.
I mean, okay, yeah,
Maybe Willow.
mm, maybe.
Maybe. So I would say this. It would be in order Sky Blue 1, Tony Storm 2, Atlander 3.
How is Anna Jay not on that list?
Britt Baker 3. Because they not putting Anna J out there.
Oh, true.
Or Jungle Boy ain't putting Anna. Said, no, the fuck you is gonna jump on my woman.
While Kyle Flatulence is just like, yeah, so that ass, baby.
Make me money. I mean, Ricochet, remember, Ricochet was like, with Samantha Irvin shit, my bank account wish he had an OnlyFans. I was like, bro, no. No, 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 no. Wrong answer, sir.
Alright, I think that'll conclude the news for now. Uh, quick word from our sponsors, and we
Player
are
One Energy and Road Coffee.
Player One Coffee.
And Rogue Energy. Jesus, my bad.
The
Bleep
views
that
and
out.
expressions of Khalifa Rock do not reflect those of us at Wrestling with Entertainment. We apologize to our
I'm
sponsors.
I'm sorry. I had too many watermelon wingmen today.
Now, now, okay, quick word from our sponsors. So,
Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low calorie, no sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off brands out there that are presenting low quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more win.
use promo code WrestlingWithE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with New Japan Pro Wrestling's Power Struggle. As of this recording, it is probably already done, but the matches are over. But I don't see why we can't do a preview and see what our guys in New Japan are doing right now. Agree, Kaliko?
I mean, New Japan, it's going to be interesting for them too because their best gaijin's on the hook to leave eventually. So they got to figure some shit out. But let's go.
Alright, Junior Special 4-Way, who? Okay, we got Kamatsu, Yo and Mashi, apparently, um, versus Ichiban Sweet Boys, Robbie Eagles, and Kosuke Fujita versus El Desperado, which is Desperado and Master Wado, versus
Master Waffle.
Bull Club War Dogs, Driller Baloney, and Clark Connors.
Did you say drill or baloney?
Yeah,
Oh gosh. You just something else, man. You and these names.
I
Hooked
mean,
on phonics, sir.
his name is Maloney. It rhymes with baloney. These things literally write themselves.
True.
Who wins the match?
That is. I mean, I would think Yo and Mushashi, since they just became a team ish, to kind of highlight them, especially for the Super Juniors tags. Uh, I'm hoping. Because eventually, Yo is going to mess with Show. You see how that works?
Yeah,
I feel like that's the way it's going. Yo is working his way up to go against Show once Show gets the tags. But I feel bad for Roppongi 3K because neither of them can get that solo buzz going.
I
I mean,
mean,
they had a couple good showings in the New Japan. I mean, in the G1 a couple years ago, but other than that, nothing.
right. And it was Super Juniors.
That
Um,
too.
Selfishly, I'd like to see Desperado and Wado win, considering how much they hate each other. Um,
That could be the case, but gotta get show to yo.
yeah.
It all starts and ends.
Now, next match, we got Yuya Uemura and Sanada versus Tetsuya Naito and Yota Tsuji. The newest member of Just Five Guys. Seen me with the champ already. Who wins, Kiko?
Wait a minute, Suji is the newest member of Just Five Guys?
Yeah. Kanemaru betrayed them, and now they still had Five Guy merchandise, so they had to bring in somebody new, and that was Uemura.
So I guess this is the point where Sonata feels betrayed? Question mark. I spent all this time hoping he got the title, and now he got the title, and his run's been kind of lackluster.
To say the least.
I feel like it's okay. It's okay. I think Sonata's gonna win. I think they'll win because he's got to set up Naito getting his revenge at Wrestle Kingdom, which is right around the corner.
Right. Um, we got Tangaloa versus David Finlay. This is definitely an interesting one. It's definitely a bigger match for Tangaloa than it is David Finlay. Um, that being said, who do you think gets the W?
This is one of those things where I feel like this screams Finlay beating the brakes off of him so Tama Tonga can fucking come back.
Right.
Right, right.
I mean, it sounds
Am I
right.
the only one who thinks that? It sounds like he gets the win or he injures him super bad and he comes out to try to save him and then they're gonna challenge each other at New Japan Wrestle Kingdom and,
Right.
do the dance.
It sounds right. Yeah,
Just saying.
I'll go with Finlay as well. This is definitely an odd one. The Great Khan versus John Moxley.
John Moxley taking breaks from trying to beat Orange Cassidy's ass. Did you see that? Did you see that video? Did you see that on AEW?
I did not.
You didn't see that? Oh my god! So, you know how Orange Cat? Well, sidebar. Let's just 2 minute sidebar. Orange Cassidy, you know how he's so emotionless, right?
Yeah.
So John Moxley's coming up the ramp after a match. Orange Cassidy comes down the ramp. Orange Cassidy just lays his shoulder into Moxley. Just like whole body, just straight up into Moxley. Moxley comes up and punches the selling their match, of course. But it was just funny because it was like,
Out of
oh
nowhere.
shit, he actually could get pissed. like, wait a minute, he gets pissed? Like I didn't know he had feelings like that. So that's what threw me off about it.
Now, what about this match? Who wins?
Now, with that being said, I'm thinking Mox ain't flying all the way over there to take a L. He did not leave. Jump on a plane, fly to Japan, take a taxi from his family to take this L.
Good
So it's
point.
Moxley.
Good point. I agree, Moxley. Next match. We got the Never Openweight 6-man tag team championship match. Tomohiro Ishii, Kazuchika Okada, and Hiroshi Tanahashi defending against Zack Sabre Jr., Shane Haste, and Mikey Nichols. I feel this is just another retain for the champions. Your thoughts?
um, uh, I mean, yeah, it's Okada. Come on, man. And it's Zack Sabre Jr. 50-50, so he'll take this L and be like, bitch, you owe me one at Wrestle Kingdom.
Brian isn't getting you at Kingdom. I'm getting you at Kingdom. I'm winning.
Kingdom, exactly. I'll take the pin, bitch, but I'm getting it back at Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay. We got the Super Junior Tag League Finals. Cats 2 over 2, Francisco Akira and TJP versus House of Pancake Show and Kadamaru, Yoshinobu Kadamaru.
It sounds like Catch 22, just without the. But then it's like 2 divided by 2, which is 1, so it's Catch 1.
Yeah.
Whatever. It has to be. It's got to be Show, right? See, I
I
think Show and Kanemaru. I take Show.
I disagree. I think that this should go to TJP and Akira. I think that they've been doing good shit. They've shown that they're a good tag team. That they are the tag team of um United Empire. Um, and selfishly, I'd like to see TJP win something in New Japan. So, and besides, Sho is already the king of pro wrestling, so he doesn't need an extra title.
What's better than one title? Two titles, sir. Show two belts, right? No, no.
No,
I mean, King of Pro Wrestling is not really a belt. It's not really anything because Toru Yano was the King of Pro Wrestling. So yeah, take that as you wish.
uh, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship: Hiromu Takahashi versus Taichi Ishimori.
Next, because it's gotta be Takahashi.
I mean, every time he fights Taichi, you would think so, but Ishimori has gotten the better of him as of recently, in the at least the last couple of matches.
But I don't see if that happens, Takahashi's winning that Kingdom. Because I feel like he's like Mr. Wrestle Kingdom.
Right. I mean,
So either y'all take that belt and he gets it back then, or he takes his first L. I feel like he hasn't lost since I've seen his ass. I'm pretty sure he's lost, but I feel like I haven't seen him lost at
right.
Wrestle Kingdom. It feels like that.
Um, I want to say he
I'm just
lost
saying
to
if
Desperado like 2 years ago.
I might have to look him up, but I think I'm not saying he that might be the case, but it just feels like he's never lost
Where he,
a Wrestle Kingdom. It feels like it. I ain't say that's the case, but it feels like every time I see him, he putting work on their ass.
right. Right. So I think we'll both agreed Hiromu for the W.
Hiromu for the dub.
And the main event, the IWGP US/UK Championship, Shota Uno versus Will Ospreay.
This is interesting because the rumors are already out. Osprey is on the way out to AEW.
Right.
How are they going to deal with this? Because if he's leaving, he's going to have to drop the title. Is is Shota worth that push to lose the title to? Like, who would be a worthy adversary to, you know, beat him for that title? Especially considering it is a title that is more American.
Even even though he changed it to the UK.
Yeah, but I don't. Here's my thing: if he wins, he's already said if he wins, he's facing Moxley, which means it's going to go back to the U.S. title.
Right.
But me personally, I think it would look better if Moxley beat Osprey,
Right.
and maybe they could continue that in AEW, considering he's going to AEW allegedly. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Kind of like a 2-for-1 there, a best of both worlds. Uh, that being said, I don't like when people call their shots. I mean, the last time a person called their shot, it didn't work out, Sonata. So Will Ospreay for the win.
I think, yeah, Will Ospreay wins. For the simple fact that we're coming up to Wrestle Kingdom in what, 2 months?
Mm-hmm.
Moxley is there, and Moxley, is known for holding that championship and not defending it for 10 years.
Of course.
So it makes sense that he'll come in, challenge for the UK championship, and say, "I want the United States championship back," because he's American, from America. Um,
From Ohio, damn it.
Fuck yeah. Um, I personally thought that there was still business between Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega, considering that Ospreay is the way he is right now because he lost to Kenny at Wrestle Kingdom last year, and that would have been the nice little bookend of that rivalry. But
But the bookend is it would be a nice bookend, but the problem is the bookend is with someone who's not with the company holding that belt.
well, I mean, Moxley isn't technically with the company either.
He's more with the company than Kenny Omega.
That's true.
Like, just saying.
You're not wrong. Uh, I I guess if Kenny didn't want to do business with New Japan again, then obviously that was his call.
True.
So yeah, Osprey for the win.
Yeah, he's got to walk it. If they're gonna make him lose the belt, it's got to be at the Wrestle Kingdom because that'll be the swan song,
Right.
and they got to find someone worthy of beating him,
John Moxley.
and they're probably gonna be Moxley or Shote gets a rematch and beats him.
True. We shall see. Maybe we'll do a review of this show next week on the show. Right. I believe that
Wow.
will conclude our coverage of New Japan's Power Struggle in this episode as a whole as well. Um, if you like what we're first and foremost, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment both on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by World Energy and Player One Coffee. Uh,
Sorry.
Join us join Kaliko on his chronicle of Compton Mania this Monday, which is not sponsored by Player One Coffee.
Okay, we get it.
And
Jesus, man.
join us this Tuesday as we interview Alan Compass, and join us this Wednesday as we interview Nicole Mattel. Um, Follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on Twitter, on X, Instagram, and Dread. For information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Kalika?
I'm Kaliko, and I'm gonna try to find the link to that full match of Rilla Wolf from Company from my Chronicles. The Chronicles continue because we got AEW Full Gear coming up, and just keep in mind, Callie's getting a lot of wrestling, so I got to take advantage of that shit.
That it is. You might even see a special appearance by James J in Calico's Chronicles.
Why not?
Yeah. And you can follow Scooter Dust at Scooter Dust. Alright. For Calico Yachts and Scooter Dust, I am James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Player One Coffee.
Hey, folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show. Support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.